I used to work as an Uber Eats delivery person. It started as a way to earn some extra income. The job was mostly enjoyable. Driving around the city, listening to my favorite music or catching up on podcasts. It felt like a decent way to make money without too much stress. Most of my deliveries were in the bustling parts of the city. I got used to the rhythm of busy streets and the familiar pattern of restaurants and apartment buildings. It was a routine that became comfortable over time. One evening, I received a delivery order that was quite different from my usual runs. It was to a remote area, a stark contrast to the crowded spots I was accustomed to. I remember feeling a mix of excitement and curiosity, wondering what this change of scene would bring. As I drove to the destination, I imagined the houses I would see. Remote areas often had affluent customers, occasionally living in sprawling mansions. I secretly hoped for better tips, a small but significant bonus for the extra miles. When I arrived, I was taken aback. The house wasn't a mansion but an old rundown building. It looked out of place and somewhat eerie, especially in the dim evening light. This wasn't what I had expected at all. I got out of the car with the food order, still processing the unexpected sight. The instructions from the customer were clear: deliver to the door. But as I approached, I saw a note asking me to enter the house to drop off the food. This request was against Uber Eats policy, and I felt uneasy about it. Deciding to stick to the rules, I left the food at the door and took a photo as proof of delivery. It was standard procedure and gave me a sense of security. As I was about to leave, I noticed the door was slightly ajar. That seemed odd. I could hear some movement inside, which further heightened my apprehension. Something didn't feel right. Peering cautiously into the house, I caught sight of two men. They looked suspicious and out of place. A chill ran down my spine as I realized this situation might be dangerous. Instinct kicked in. I turned and ran back to my car, not daring to look back. My heart pounded in my chest as I fumbled with my keys, desperate to get inside and lock the doors. As I started the car, I heard footsteps behind me. They were fast, almost running. Panic surged through me. I stepped on the gas, not even bothering to check the rearview mirror. I just needed to get away. Once I was at a safe distance, I pulled over and called the police. My hands were shaking as I explained what happened. The dispatcher's calm voice was a stark contrast to the chaos of my thoughts. The police arrived at the scene quickly. I stayed on the phone until they assured me it was safe. They checked the house and found it empty. The realization that it could have been a setup to rob or harm drivers like myself was terrifying. The officers informed me that they were investigating the incident. It appeared that the house had been abandoned for some time. I couldn't help but wonder how many others might have been lured there under false pretenses. In the days following the incident, I couldn't shake off the fear and anxiety. The experience had a profound effect on me. I began to question the safety of the job I once found enjoyable. I decided to stop delivering for Uber Eats. It was a tough decision, especially since I relied on the income. However, my safety and peace of mind became my priority. The incident changed me. I became more cautious and aware of my surroundings, not just at work, but in my everyday life. The sense of security I once took for granted was now something I actively thought about. I shared my experience with fellow delivery drivers, warning them to be vigilant. It was alarming to realize how vulnerable we were, often working alone and in unfamiliar areas. Looking back, I'm grateful I trusted my instincts that evening. It could have ended much worse. I learned the hard lesson that no job is worth compromising my safety. The police continued their investigation, but I'm not sure if they ever caught the people behind the setup. The incident remained a disturbing memory, a reminder of the risks that came with seemingly simple tasks. Eventually, I found another job, one that didn't involve late-night deliveries to remote places. I still drive past that old house sometimes, a silent witness to a night that changed my life. My story as an Uber Eats delivery person ended not with a celebration of hard work, but with a sobering realization of the unpredictability and potential dangers of the world. It was an experience that taught me to always prioritize my safety, a lesson I'll carry with me always.